All right, Lee, I'm gonna go ahead and argue against Jesus being Krishna. I just want to throw that out there right away. I'm arguing against Jesus being Krishna. So the idea is not horribly insane in that if God wanted to send Jesus to Earth at some point, who's to say he didn't send him to Earth at some other point prior to that? I mean, Scripture talks about how the second coming or the coming after the first was, there's gonna be some substantial stuff that goes down with that, but it really doesn't mention anything prior to that. So I guess I mean, I don't know too much about it, but sure, why not? He could have come before. But from what you said, Krishna was talking to some prince about how he shouldn't relent over killing hordes and hordes of people because the soul is eternal, and this, that, and the other thing. However, Jesus clearly states that you should love your enemy and turn the other cheek. He's striving for a higher standard, if you will. It doesn't sound like this Krishna guy is striving for that higher standard. He's just like, yeah, kill him, don't worry about it. Everything's jiggy baby. Much like the Muhammad philosophy. Much more similar to the Middle Eastern philosophy than the Jesus stance on the matter. So, if you ask me, that's a fairly different uh, way of thinking about it. And I would just suggest that's a different philosophy altogether. Also, you mentioned how he was giving this symbol. Now, I mean, I didn't see any of the pictures. I don't know anything about who drew the images or the stories or anything like that. However, I kind of agree with what Mom said in that it's an artist's representation. For example, if I were to draw a picture of an individual today and I wanted to make him look holy, what would I do? Well, I draw a picture. I make him do some kind of like a Jesus stance, like, right? I mean, that's what we associate with. Well, what does that stance come from? Well, that comes from freaking Jesus hanging on the cross. Well, I mean, he didn't just go around going, I mean, that was him, at his worst moment, dying on the cross. But we established that as an image of being holy. So I would draw a picture of you going, and that you being holy. But that's just my representation. So an artist drawing Jesus is going to draw him in what he thinks is a holy image, and maybe, just maybe, he has the image of Krishna in his mind, which was a holy figure, of going like that. I don't know, I'm just kind of spitballing here, but I can see how it's just an artist representation. I mean, there's no photographs back then, so maybe Jesus never even did that. Just like if I drew a holy guy today, he'd never do that. That's just the way I freaking draw the picture. So, there you have it. I don't think Jesus is Krishna. This is from what you said. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong.